our channel Quarantine School. Today we will discuss our second chapter of business studies, that is principles of management. So principles of management are the general guidelines to a manager to manage an organization, like flexibility. It is like principles of management help to a manager to making a decisions like promotion. Generally managers see performance of the employee. On the basis of their performance, they promote their personnel according to their work. So let's discuss the natures of management. First is universal applicability. Universal applicability क्या कहता है? It says that principles of management will work on all the levels of organization. Whether it is non-profit organization, whether it is profit organization, whether it is a small organization or large organization. It will applicable for all the levels of organization and at level all the levels of management. Let's discuss next point, general guidelines. So principle of management gives the general guidelines to the manager to control the organization according to their work. If the organization is large, if the organization is joint venture or a non-profit organization, they will give the guidelines according to their organization to control their work. Next, formed by practice and experimentation. All the principles of management are made by practice or experimentation. This point we'll discuss in this chapter further. Next, flexibility. As we know, principles of management is flexible, so it means it can customize according to the situations. Here the flexibility means that principles of management will be added or customized according to the situation, according to the current situation. So our next point is mainly behavior. Here behavior is known for human. So mainly behavior says that we will influence the behavior of a human for their work. Principles of management basically motivate human behavior towards their work. Next point is cause and effect relationship. Cause and effect relationship says that it will find the relation between cause and effect. What it means? So principle of management intend to establish relationship between cause and effect, so they can use similarly situations in a large number of cases. Okay. For this point, we will take an example. Suppose a company, a fabric company, had a major loss in their accounting year. So the manager find out their mistakes, and according to their mistakes, they will improve the work, and they will guide the personnel to work on that matter according to their situations. So basically, cause and effect relationship will improve the working of the organization by analyzing the mistakes done in previous year. The last point is contingent. So basically contingent means it is dependent on the prevailing situations. As we know, as we discussed this point, that principles of management is flexible, so it is directly relate to this point that it is dependent on the prevailing situations. So we can customize the principles of management according to the situations. So our next topic is significance of principles of management. Significance means, what is significance? Significance means importance. So importance of principles of management. So our first point is providing managers with useful insight into the reality. So this point says that manager will know with their life experience or with the reality of the organization, and they will learn from different situations faced by him. So when they will start applying principles of management in the different situations, so they will get different results. So on the behalf of that, they will get the insight into the reality. What it really means? Insight into the reality means if managers employs principles of management in their situation, and they will get the negative result in that, so they learn the insight into the reality of that situation. The next point is optimum utilization of resources. Principles of management help to optimum utilization of resources. So it means that the resources of the organization will be used in proper manner and they will get the maximum profit or maximum outcomes from their resource. It helps organization to use optimum utilizations of resources and get the maximum outcomes from their resources. Next point is scientific decision. So it says that principles of management is based on scientific decisions. They help in taking the logical reasoning rather than free flow or blind trust. Principles of management are based on reality, not on free flow or blind trust. And principles of management are not influenced bias or injustice. So our next point is meeting changing environment requirement. So what it really says that principles of management are generally guidelines and they as we learned in previous topic that it is flexible in nature. So meeting changing environment says that principles of management will change or will apply in the different situations in the different places. As we learned in previous topic that principles of management are flexible in nature. So this that point is implied in this point that meeting changing environment. So as we know principles of management are flexible in nature and they are dealing with human behavior, so they have to change according to the situations. It simply says that principles of management are flexible or work in dynamic situations. My next point is fulfilling social responsibility. Principles of management help in development of society or they influence the organization to work biologically benefited method so that the environment so that environment is also not affected, and principles of management influence to generate employment for the society, so it will decrease the unemployment in the society. Our next and last point is management training, education and research. So basically management are the core of management theory. So as we all know, MBA, Masters in Business Administration, principles of management are the core of management theory. As such, these are used as basics for managing training, education and research. So our next topic is Fayol's principles of management. First, we discuss about Henry Fayol. Who is he? ये क्या करते थे? इन्होंने प्रिंसिपल्स ऑफ मैनेजमेंट कैसे बनाए? कैसे इन्होंने मतलब इन्वेंट किए इन्हें? So let's discuss about that. Henry Fayol. Henry Fayol is an engineer. He discussed the top level management top level management principles. So basically Henry Fayol practiced all the principles and according to their different situation, different result, they invent 14 principles of management. Henry Fayol is an engineer. First, he practiced all the situations and faced all the situations, and according to the different result, he invent 14 principles of management. And his principles of management are developed on the basis of top level management. So let's discuss his 14 principles. I will give you the 14 keywords for learning the principles of Fayol. Dad, you source. SIES. First we count the alphabet. 1, dad, E 13 and S 14. So basically it's a simplest way of learning the 14 principles of FAIR. First we will discuss the D. What is D? D stands for division of work. Division of work. So this point says that the work is divided in a proper way, so that all the workers will work in a proper condition or in a proper manner. So the main motive of this principle is to improve the quality of work and better outcome. Basically this point says the work of the employer is increased and also the organization gets better outcomes. So divisions of work again, it says that work should be divided into a proper manner, so that all the workers will give their 100% or organization gets better outcomes. I hope you understand that point. So our next point is A. A stands for authority and responsibility. Says that all the personnel get their proper responsibility and authority, so that they can lead or they can teach their subordinates properly, so that they will get proper work and they will get proper outcomes. So here authority says that proper work done by their subordinates. Suppose, let's take an example. Suppose I am a manager of one company, and under my I have 10 subordinates. So I have that responsibility to manage the 10 employees of our organization. So I have to work in that manner, so that all the personnel get proper work, they will get a proper outcome. And employee development of employee responsibility. So basically each and every employee of the organization will know their responsibility to what I have to do, and at what level I have to do my work. So basically this is our second point, authority and responsibility. Third is D. D stands for डिसिप्लिन. यार ये डिसिप्लिन स्कूल लाइफ वाला डिसिप्लिन नहीं है. बेसिकली दिस डिसिप्लिन सेज दैट each and every person, each and every commodity have their proper place. Let's take an example. हम एक स्कूल में पढ़ते हैं. अगर हमें अपने प्रिंसिपल मैम का या अपने कोऑर्डिनेटर का, किसी भी टीचर का अगर हमें एक प्रॉपर प्लेस पता होगा कि यस मेरी हिंदी की टीचर इस जगह बैठती है या मेरे ये सब्जेक्ट के टीचर यहाँ बैठते हैं, सो वो मेरे लिए इजी होगा कि मैं उस टीचर से जाके उस प्लेस पे डायरेक्ट मिलूं. अगर मेरे को यही नहीं पता होगा कि मेरे इस सब्जेक्ट का टीचर यहाँ बैठा है एंड दे डोंट हैव प्रॉपर प्लेस, सो इट विल टेक मोर टाइम टू फाइंड आउट एंड it will reduce my energy, or it takes too much time to find out. So discipline says each and every person and commodity have a proper place, which will reduce the time consuming and improve the productivity of the organization. Hope you understand that point. Next point is U. Unity of direction. So U stands for unity of direction. It simply says that each and every person of the organization have their same direction, have their same motive to improve the productivity, and all the employee work in a direction of improvement of the organization. So the all the employee have same motive to improve the organization. Up suppose if we have one organization and we have 20 persons in our organization, and each and every have their different goals. Suppose I am a manager, I have to work in that, I will get promotion in my organization. So basically this is my personal motive, this is not my organization motive. My organization motive is to improve the working of the organization and take the organization to the highest path. So basically this says that not individual motive, every employee has to focus on the organization motive. अगर सब अपने अपने रास्ते पे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में डिफरेंट डिफरेंट वे में जाएंगे, सो इट्स डिफिकल्ट टू गेट द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. Each an organization set their motive, and to achieve that motive each employee should contribute their efforts in one direction. I repeat, each and every employee should give their efforts to the one direction, that is organization goal. So what it says, improve the production, not individual motive. Every employee has to focus on the organization motive. Okay. So our next point is, our next alphabet is S. S stands for scalar chain. Scalar chain basically scalar chain says that there should be a proper and formal communication between all the members of the organization. Let's take an example. From A to G, all the members are in a same group, and from H to M, they all are in same group. So if A wants to talk to H, so they have to follow the rule that all the information pass to A, B, C, then all the information pass to HO, and then this HO pass the information from M, and then it will come to H. As we can see, it is the longest method and it takes too much of time. So generally the company members doing that if A wants to pass the information to H, so they directly pass the information from A to H, and this process is called as gang plan. So basically in gang plan, the A passes information directly to the H without any formal communication. Our next point is order. O stands for order. Basically order says that there should be a proper order of each and every instrument or each and every person in an organization, which can reduce the time of organization and improve the productivity of the organization. So it says that there should be a proper place of each and every commodity and employee in the organization, which will reduce the time consumptions and improve productivity. Our next point is U. Again, U stands for unity of command. Unity of command says that if that there should be an there should be a single order or command which will increase the productivity and improve the employee skills. Basically this point says that अगर हमारी कंपनी में दो एचओडी हैं एंड उन लोगों के जो थॉट प्रोसेस है और उनकी जो थिंकिंग है अलग है, और जो कि अलग है तो दे बोथ आर पास डिफरेंट ऑर्डर्स, सो इट डिफिकल्ट फॉर अ एम्प्लॉय to cooperate with both the orders. So there should be a unity in command and only one order should be followed by all the employee. Okay. So our next point is R. R stands for remuneration of employee. Basically remuneration means there should be a proper distribution of income in each and every employee. If employee work well, then according to their work, income or incentives will give to that employee. Basically this point says that each and every employee has their work, and if their work is good, or if as it is said, if employee work well, then according to their work, income and incentives will give to that employee. So अब just take an example. Let's suppose हम लोगों के पास 10 एम्प्लॉय हैं और उसमें से कुछ एम्प्लॉय हैं जो बहुत अच्छा वर्क कर रहे हैं और कुछ ऐसे हैं मीडियम एवरेज वर्क कर रहे हैं, बट उन मीडियम एवरेज जो वर्कर्स हैं उनकी सैलरी और जो हमारे वेल डू वर्कर्स हैं उनकी सैलरी में डिफरेंस है. सो जो वेल डन वर्कर्स होंगे उन लोगों की अगर सैलरी कम और ज़्यादा होगी तो वो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट पैदा कर सकता है हमारे वेल डन वर्कर्स में और मीडियम वर्कर्स में. सो फॉर द यूनिटी और फॉर द honesty of each and every employee's work, there should be a proper distribution of income in all the employees. So basically our next point is C. C stands for centralization, decentralization. Centralization says that concentration on decision making power is known as centralization. So basically what it says, suppose एक कंपनी है, उसके टॉप लेवल मैनेजमेंट ने एक नया रूल निकाला है दैट वी आर ओनली गिव 60 पेड लीव्स इन अ ईयर. सो दिस रूल इज फॉर्म्ड बाय टॉप लेवल मैनेजमेंट एंड दिस इज कॉल्ड एज ये जो रूल बनाया है ये बनाया है टॉप लेवल मैनेजमेंट ने। ओके, अब ये जो रूल बनाया है ये रूल जब सारे डिपार्टमेंट में पास हो जाएगा, जब ये रूल सारे डिपार्टमेंट में ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में पास हो जाएगा, टू द मिडिल लेवल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, टू अ लोअर लेवल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, टू अ लोअर लेवल मैनेजमेंट, or to a subordinates, or to every employee of the organization, that process is called as decentralization. That process is called as decentralization. So basically decentralization means when we combine both the words, it says the formation of all the rules and regulation by the top level management is known as centralization, and that rules are when these rules are passed to different departments, that is known as decentralization. Hope so you understand that. Let's take an other point, that is E. E stands for equity. वेल हम इस वर्ड से ही कुछ अंडरस्टैंड कर सकते हैं कि ये क्या कहना चाह रहा है. इक्विटी मीन्स देयर शुड बी नो bias between related to his caste, religion, color and all the sex related. There should be no any inequality. So we have 2 points in that. Equity says there should be no inequality on basis of caste, religion, sex, etc. And this is the main point of that, and the other point is there should be proper distribution of income in the organization. ये पॉइंट बेसिकली ये कहना चाह रहा है कि हम किसी की कास्ट, किसी कलर का, किसी के सेक्स को लेकर हम लोग इनइक्वालिटी नहीं कर सकते इन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. देयर शुड बी अ प्रॉपर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन ऑफ द इनकम on the basis of their work performance or the development of the personnel. There should be no indifference or there should be no inequality between any employee related to their these points: caste, religion, sex, etc. So our next point is S. S stands for stability of personnel. So this point says that they should be manager should be work in that manner so that all the employees of the organization will be happy or satisfied with their income or with their performance. So basically this point says that if ये पॉइंट ये कहता है कि अगर हमारी कंपनी में सारे एम्प्लॉयज खुश रहेंगे और सब हैप्पी रहेंगे अपनी इनकम से, सो दे विल stay in the organization which will reduce the employee turnover. सो मैनेजर को उस तरीके से वर्क करना है और उस तरीके से अपने सबॉर्डिनेट के साथ कोऑपरेट करना है, सो ऑल द एम्प्लॉयज इन द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन will be happy or satisfied with their job. So our next point is I. I stands for initiative. So initiative basically says that all the employee in the organization has to perform in the development of organization or give their views, give their opinion to the top level management for the development of organization. So it says that all the employee of the organization take parts in the development of organization and give their opinion. Most important and key word, opinion. Remember this word, opinion, for the initiative. Our next point and next word is E. E stands for spirit de corps. Basically this word is come from Japan. It says that the word I is converted by we. All the employee is a part of organization and I replaced by we. It means in the organization all the employee is a family member and they should be work in that manner, so that organization will get better earning and developed with the help of employee. So spirit de corps says that I is converted by B. So I word is converted by B. All the members of the organization is treated as a family member and our organization is family. So basically organization is family. Employee in the organization is family member. Hope so you got the point. So our last word of this topic is S. S stands for subordination of individual interest to common interest. Basically this point says that we need to focus on organization goal, not on the individual goal. We need to focus on common interest of the organization, not individual interest, not individual, rather than interest it says that development. इंडिविजुअल डेवलपमेंट पर हमें फोकस नहीं करना है, हमें करना है organization. It is common if the organization is developed or organization get more profit, so basically directly employee will get more profit and employee will get more incentives. So we need to focus on organization development rather than individual interest or individual development. So here we complete our 14 points. Let's discuss or let's recall all the points. D A. So let's recall all the 14 principles of Fayol. First, yes guy. D stands for division of work. A stands for authority and responsibility. Next, discipline. U stands for unity of direction. S scalar chain. O stands for order. U stands for unity of command. Next, SOUR. R stands for remuneration of employee. C stands for centralization and decentralization. E stands for equity. S stands for personal, stability of personal. I stands for initiative. E stands for spirit, decock. And the last, subordination of individual interest to common interest. So these are 14 principles of Fayol. So further in next video we discuss scientific principles of management by F. W. Taylor. Thank you guys.